You may notice it in small moments. Someone asks for a favor, and before you have even checked your energy, you say yes. A family member calls with another crisis, and you immediately become calm, useful, and available. Someone disappoints you, but instead of saying so, you explain their behavior to yourself until your own hurt disappears from the conversation. From the outside, this can look like kindness. And often, it is kindness. But after decades of being the patient one, the dependable one, the person who understands, kindness can begin to feel less like a choice and more like a role you are no longer allowed to leave. That is when emotional exhaustion begins to hide inside good intentions. Kind people are often praised for what they can absorb. They listen longer. They forgive faster. They notice what others need before anyone asks. They soften their words, lower their expectations, and make room for everyone else's discomfort. Over time, people may come to depend not only on their kindness, but on their silence. The difficult part is that this pattern rarely feels harmful at first. It feels responsible, mature, loving. You may believe that keeping the peace is better than creating tension, that saying yes is easier than explaining no, or that your needs can wait because someone else is struggling more. But needs that are postponed do not disappear. They often return as fatigue, resentment, numbness, or the sudden desire to withdraw from everyone. After 50, this can become especially visible. The pace of life changes. Certain roles begin to loosen. Children may need you differently. Work may no longer provide the same identity. Relationships that once ran on habit become harder to ignore. And the emotional cost of always being available becomes more difficult to disguise. You may find yourself irritated by requests that once seemed small. You may stop answering messages quickly. Most people do not run out of retirement money all at once. They run out slowly. One bill at a time. One withdrawal at a time. One surprise expense at a time. And the most dangerous part is this. The warning signs often appear long before the money is gone. But many people do not recognize them. They think they are still fine because the account still has a balance. They think they are safe because the bills are still being paid. They think retirement is working because nothing has collapsed yet. But retirement money can begin failing long before it reaches zero. If you are over 50, there are hidden signs that your retirement money may not last through your lifetime. Not loud signs. Not dramatic signs. Quiet signs. The kind people explain away until the problem becomes harder to fix. Today, we are going to look at 5 hidden signs your retirement money may not last as long as you need it to. The first hidden sign is that your retirement plan only works if everything goes perfectly. This is more common than people realize. The numbers may look acceptable on paper. The account balance may look decent. Social Security may look close enough. The monthly budget may seem possible. But the plan has no room for mistakes. No room for inflation. No room for medical bills. No room for home repairs. No room for helping family. No room for market drops. No room for taxes being higher than expected. That is not a strong retirement plan. That is a best-case scenario. Imagine David, age 61. He looks at his savings and feels relieved. He adds up what he has, what he expects from Social Security, and what he thinks he will spend every month. At first, the math seems to work. But only barely. If groceries rise, the plan becomes tight. If insurance costs go up, the plan becomes tight. If the car needs repairs, the plan becomes scary. If the market drops, the plan becomes even weaker. In scenario A, David tests his retirement plan against real life. He asks, what happens if my expenses rise? What happens if healthcare costs more? What happens if I live longer than expected? In scenario B, he only looks at the comfortable version. He assumes the future will behave. That is the hidden danger. A retirement plan that only works under perfect conditions may already be too fragile. Because retirement is not lived on paper. It is lived through surprise bills, rising costs, taxes, illness, family needs, and years that do not go according to plan. The second hidden sign is that you do not know your real monthly spending. Many people think they know what they spend. But they only know the obvious bills. Mortgage or rent. Utilities. Car payment. Insurance. Groceries. Phone. But retirement spending is often bigger than the simple monthly list. There are irregular expenses. Property taxes. Home maintenance. Car repairs. Dental work. Prescription costs. Insurance deductibles. Replacing appliances. Travel to see family. Helping adult children. Emergency expenses. These costs may not happen every month, but they still happen. And if they are not included in the plan, they become withdrawals later. Imagine Linda, age 58. She believes she can retire on a certain monthly budget. She writes down her basic bills and feels confident. But she forgets the expenses that do not arrive every month. Then the roof needs repairs. The car insurance goes up. A dental bill appears. Her property taxes increase. Her adult son needs short-term help. None of these expenses are shocking by themselves. But together, they change the real cost of retirement. In scenario A, Linda tracks her actual spending for a full year before retirement. She includes seasonal bills, repairs, medical expenses, taxes, and family help. In scenario B, she builds her retirement plan around the cleanest version of her budget. That second version feels easier. But it may not be true. The hidden sign is this. If your retirement budget only includes predictable bills, your money may not be prepared for real life. A weak budget can make a strong account disappear faster than expected. The third hidden sign is that you depend too heavily on one income source. For many people, that income source is Social Security. For others, it may be a pension, a retirement account, rental income, or part-time work. The danger is not having income. The danger is having too much of your retirement depend on one source working exactly as expected. If Social Security covers most of your expenses, any gap can create pressure. If your retirement account must cover everything Social Security does not, withdrawals may become too heavy. If a pension does not adjust enough for inflation, purchasing power can shrink. If part-time work is required, health problems or job loss can disrupt the plan. Imagine Robert, age 64. He expects Social Security to cover most of his retirement expenses. His savings are there, but he sees them as backup. At first, this feels safe. But then expenses rise. Healthcare costs more. Groceries cost more. Insurance costs more. Social Security helps, but it does not cover everything. Now his savings must fill the gap every month. What was supposed to be backup money becomes monthly income. And once that pattern begins, the account can start shrinking faster than expected. In scenario A, Robert builds an income plan with layers. Social Security. Cash reserves. Retirement withdrawals. A realistic tax plan. A spending plan. A backup plan. In scenario B, Robert says, Social Security will cover most of it, and I will use savings when needed. That sounds reasonable. But, when needed, can become every month. The hidden sign is this. If one income source falling short would damage your entire retirement, your plan may not be strong enough. Retirement income needs structure. Not just hope that one check will carry everything. The fourth hidden sign is that you are withdrawing money without knowing the long-term effect. This is one of the biggest quiet risks after 50. A withdrawal may feel small. A few $1,000s here. A little extra there. A larger amount for a project. A withdrawal to help family. A withdrawal to cover taxes. A withdrawal during a market drop. Each one can feel manageable. But the real question is not only, can I afford this today? The better question is, what does this do to my future income? Imagine Carol, age 66. She has a retirement account that still looks healthy. So when expenses rise, she pulls extra money. When the holidays come, she pulls extra. When a medical bill appears, she pulls extra. When her daughter needs help, she pulls extra. At the end of the year, she tells herself she only used the account a few times. But when she adds it up, the total is much higher than she expected. Worse, she has not calculated how those withdrawals affect the next 20 or 25 years. In scenario A, Carol reviews every withdrawal before it happens. She asks what it means for taxes, future income, and account longevity. She separates emergencies from lifestyle spending. In scenario B, she withdraws whenever life becomes uncomfortable. The account still has money, so it feels okay. But that is the trap. Retirement money can look fine while the plan underneath is weakening. The hidden sign is this. If you are regularly pulling money without measuring the long-term effect, your retirement may be more fragile than it looks. The fifth hidden sign is that you are ignoring longevity risk. This means the risk of living longer than your money. Many people worry about having enough money to retire. But the deeper issue is not just retiring. It is staying retired for decades. A person who retires in their early or mid-60s may need their money to last 20, 25, or even 30 years. That is a long time for savings to support income, healthcare, taxes, inflation, emergencies, and lifestyle needs. Imagine James, age 62. He feels ready to slow down. He is tired. He has worked hard. He wants more freedom. And emotionally, retirement sounds right. But he has not looked carefully at how long his money may need to last. He thinks in terms of the next few years. Not the next few decades. The first 5 years may look fine. The problem may appear in year 10. Or year 15. Or year 20. That is what makes longevity risk so dangerous. It is not always visible at the beginning. In scenario A, James plans for a long retirement. He thinks about healthcare, inflation, withdrawals, taxes, emergency reserves, and future income. In scenario B, James says, "I think I have enough," without testing the timeline. That sentence may feel comforting. But comfort is not a plan. The hidden sign is this. If you have not asked how your money holds up over decades, not just years, you may be underestimating the real challenge of retirement. So how do you know if your retirement money may not last? Look for these 5 signs. Your plan only works if everything goes perfectly. You do not know your real monthly spending. You depend too heavily on one income source. You withdraw money without knowing the long-term effect. You ignore the risk of living longer than your savings. None of these signs means you are doomed. But they do mean you should pause. Review the numbers. Look at your real expenses. Build a cash buffer. Understand your withdrawal plan. Think about taxes before taking money out. Plan for healthcare. Plan for inflation. Plan for a longer life than you may expect. Because the goal is not just to retire.